What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Real Highlights podcast. I'm with Henry. Um,
Yo,
yeah, what's going on? So we're gonna get right into it. The title of this is "Everything the Timberwolves Can Do This Draft or Offseason." It's gonna be titled Draft because I'm probably gonna go back to who we can sign once the offseason officially starts. Um, but yeah, I actually came up with stuff I'm gonna talk about before the podcast, just not going off the top of my head during it. Um, so So first off in the draft, the Wolves can draft LaMelo. By the way, that interview went horrible apparently. Even with many teams actually. And this is just me, but I wonder if he's trying to fall to the Knicks. And Knicks trade up to like pick 4, he falls down before they draft him. Who knows? The second option is you draft Anthony Edwards. That's also a good option. And the third option is you draft James Wiseman. James Wiseman did say he doesn't want to play with doesn't want to get drafted by the Wolves because he doesn't want to play with Cat. Another option is you trade for Bradley Beal. That trade for Bradley Beal would look something like Culver and Beasley in the 1 pick, and you could probably do a sign and trade of Malik Beasley to match salary cap, or you trade James Johnson as well. You
yeah,
can also trade for Devin Booker, and it'd probably be similar trade offer, except you probably have to add more picks in because he's on contract and he hasn't said he wants to leave. And the other trade would be Ben Simmons, which would again look pretty similar to all those other trades. So, Philly would trade Ben Simmons. So Philly would trade Ben Simmons because Docker was coached Tobias Harris in LA, and they had the 4th best record in the West until they traded him to Philly. And Tobias Harris was the most efficient guard on the pick and roll, or ball handler on the pick and roll in the NBA for that half of the year. With Zubac, not Embiid, and no one knows about how good that chemistry is of Ben Simmons and Embiid. They might be hating each other, and we just don't know about it.
oh yeah.
Butler did call him weak-minded, so who knows? Henry, if you want to go over why Washington or the Suns would trade Booker, you can, or I can keep going over it.
Well, I think Beal just doesn't want to be in Washington because if he wants to get like any playoff success, I don't think he'll get it in Washington. So he might request a trade, and then Timberwolves could hit him with the like Beasley and James Johnson. But I don't think there would be any other reason that Washington would trade
Yeah,
Beal.
so Washington. So this Bradley Beal trade could happen on draft night, or it could happen at deadline. It's probably gonna be one of those two. It could happen during the season, but I think that's just unlikely. Um, but if they were to do this at draft night, it would mean they're going into a full rebuild, and that means they're also going to try and trade John Wall. But if they're not going to trade Beal until deadline, it means they're going to test out how good that John Wall Bradley Beal duo is. And if it's really good, they obviously won't trade him. But let's say they have a losing record,
Then they
maybe
probably
maybe
trade
you
him.
trade him, right? And I think that's pretty similar for the Suns. Suns, it could easily happen on draft night. Most likely won't happen on draft night. If anything, it would be like D'Lo and happen at deadline because he's on a 4-year contract. But it would so if it would happen at basically the only reason they trade him is if the Suns are bad. So let's say they're like 13th, 14th in the West, and Devin Booker goes, I request a trade. Here come the Timberwolves. Oh, we have Anthony Edwards, we have Jarrett Culver, we have Malik Beasley, we have all these guys that we're willing to trade.
Yeah.
Dang, I wrote all of that, and I already. Oh, yeah. So here, these are what our lineups would look like with Lamelo. So, if we drafted Lamelo, it'd be something. It'd be Lamelo, D'Lo, Okogie, Jake Layman, and Cat. If we drafted Anthony Edwards, it'd be D'Lo, Anthony Edwards, Okogie, Jake Layman, Cat, and same thing with Wiseman, D'Lo, Okogie, Jake Layman, Cat, and then Wiseman. Um, Also some other stuff that we can go over. Let's see, where is it? We'll just start off right here. Gophers defensive coordinator tested positive for corona. He won't be at the game versus Illinois. 49ers have no cases, so they're going to be playing tonight. Some Bears player tested positive for corona, and they closed all team facilities. Let's see. A wide receiver on San Francisco's not playing because of corona, so that's probably what that was all about. Let's see. So the MLS is back. Oh, they're still in the playoffs? Dang.
They are?
I don't know. Maybe. Rafael Nadal, tennis player, got his 1,000th win. Mitchell Trubisky is injured. He got injured on his one and only play versus the Saints. Wow.
Wow.
NBA union near deal for a new season, which would approve the December 22 start and a 72-game schedule. Lions plays quarterback Matthew Stafford on the reserve for the Corona reserve list, unknown whether he has tested positive. That's kind of weird. I'm pretty sure he tested positive. He's on that list, or he's just around. So Antonio Brown was praising Brady on how he's made him a better person. The Broncos canceled practice because John Elway, the GM, and the CEO Joe Ellis tested positive, and now a couple players got it. The Browns GM said he thinks Baker has played really well. Disagree with that. Let's see. The New York Knicks said they don't want to trade R.J. Barrett or Mitchell Robinson. I wouldn't want to trade those two either. They could end up being a really good duo. Although they might have to trade one of those two if they want to trade up.
Yeah, maybe Barrett.
So we're back on Bradley Beal. So it's still unlikely they trade him, but the rumors for him, like I think there's a few teams that want him. I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors want him. But if the Warriors were to trade for him, it'd be like Wiggins, the 2 pick, the Wolves pick next year, and a couple more Warriors picks probably, something along those lines. There's quite a few teams who want Drew Holiday. I'm not surprised. He's probably the best perimeter defender in the NBA. He is a one-time All-Star. He's only 30 years old. Yeah, he's a good point guard. And even Kevin Durant said he's one of the hardest players to go up against. Henry, if you want to go over Francisco Lindor requesting a trade, you can.
Oh, yeah. So, the superstar Francisco Lindor on the Indians.
MVP, right?
I'm pretty sure he was MVP in like 2017.
Yeah.
Requested a trade.
I don't know if he did. I think Cleveland just said they want to trade him.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah.
Well, I don't see why you would want to trade him. But we could maybe trade him, or the Twins could get him for Polanco, minor league player, and pick, which doesn't sound too bad, since Polanco is a shortstop, so we would just be trading shortstops. And some minor league player probably in AAA, like the pitcher we drafted a couple years ago, and like a 3rd or 4th round pick. Doesn't sound that bad of a deal. And I think the Indians would accept that.
Yeah, so at the same time, I see what you're saying, and I actually told you that we should make this trade. But what if we were able to trade those players for a really good pitcher instead, and we could call up our 1 pick who's a shortstop.
Oh yeah, we could probably get like a pitcher.
Who's that dude on the Mets that's really good? That your mom, Syndergaard?
They are not gonna.
They wouldn't trade him? I like him.
He's probably gonna win Cy Young this year.
Oh really? I know Maeda is a finalist.
Yeah, Maeda was one of the finalists.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
The National League, it's either gonna be Trevor Bauer or Noah Syndergaard or Yu Darvish.
Trevor Bauer sucks. Yu Darvish, he's really good like every 3 years.
Yeah, he was good on the Rangers, then he got traded. Then he
He's
was
on the
good 1 year,
Cubs. Yeah.
and then he wasn't good or not as good, and then he's good this year. And then in the American League, it's Maeda, a pitcher on the Blue Jays, and pitcher on the uh, spacing out. But yeah, he's really
Yeah. I'm reading stuff right now on just, Giannis and free agency overall. And there was some stuff on the Nets could possibly target for Victor Oladipo and trade Levert. At the same time, I think I'd rather keep Levert because he's on a really good contract. And who knows? Maybe Oladipo doesn't even get back to what it used to be. The Knicks have also been in talks for Victor Oladipo. Heat has been in talks for Victor Oladipo. Apparently, the Chris Paul stuff was, heating up. Milwaukee, they're gonna trade for Chris Paul. Like, there's been no discussions apparently, which is kind of crazy. I would have thought there would be some stuff going on, but apparently there's been no discussion about it. Toronto, they can re-sign Fred VanVleet, Ibaka, OG Anunoby, Norman Powell. Although OG Anunoby did get, got in a little bit of trouble. Kind of a lot of trouble. If you thought Malik Beasley's stuff was bad.
What did Anunoby do?
It was a whole, 8 accounts of harassment, some drugs, a few guns. I think even some more stuff, but yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty horrible.
If you're Detroit, your team's not that good. You didn't even make the playoffs. Would you trade Blake Griffin for a 2024 first-round pick and nothing else?
2024?
Or a second-round pick. One second-round pick for Blake Griffin so you can get off $150 million.
Maybe for next free agency.
Yeah, I don't know who wants to go to Detroit, really. No disrespect to Detroit, but when
there's
a
not really
superstar can go to LA
superstar
or Miami or New York or Chicago.
Yeah.
It's kind of even like that. Like, why would the Wolves clear up a lot of cap for free agency? Who's going to want to come to us?
Yeah, nobody.
I was hoping Kevin Durant would sign with us because he was dating a girl that was on the Lynx. He actually got engaged with her. Yeah, it's kind of depressing that they broke up.
Kyrie Irving when he was on the
I
Celtics.
when
he was on the
Cleveland, so we already had Butler. We had Butler. Imagine we would have traded Wiggins and a couple picks, and we could roll with Kyrie, Butler, and Cat.
That would be a very good team.
Yeah, great team. So yeah, I don't really know what's gonna happen. This free agency could be Giannis is on the Warriors, the Heat, Dallas, or Giannis signs a 5-year, $250 million deal, and Fred VanVleet signs a $25 million deal with the Knicks. It could go either way.
Yeah.
Utah Jazz could hold on to Rudy Gobert or trade him to the Mavs. I know Mavs want him, and Rudy Gobert might get dealt to them at deadline. I could totally see happening. Because he does not like Donovan Mitchell. Imagine a Luka and Giannis on the same team, though. That's kind of like AD and LeBron, but more of better better offense. I don't know. I don't want to disrespect LeBron and AD, but Luka and Giannis. How do you even stop that? Yeah.
Better.
Yeah. I don't. So Rudy Gobert is eligible for a supermax. I don't know why would you even give them that?
Yeah, Rudy Gobert is no.
I know if you're the Celtics, you could trade Marcus Smart and Robert Williams, maybe throw in a couple picks, and all of a sudden you have Rudy Gobert, the best defensive player of the year, on your team with Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown. Because that was their struggle spot. They didn't have a center. I also think Rudy Gobert's a little overrated in my opinion, but that's just me. Yeah.
I can see how you think that.
Yeah, I also don't like he's not one of my favorite players. But honestly, like, it should have gone to Giannis a couple of years ago. There's always the guy who I thought, like, should have got it over him in the finalists. That's just me. There's not much else to talk about. I guess how good Brooklyn is gonna be. Probably make the finals. Probably gonna win it all. It's just a prediction, though.
Finals?
I'm just kidding.
Really?
Once free agency's done, we should make our picks though for every record and MVPs and awards. That'll be good.
Oh yeah.
We should do that one with Masai. Hopefully we can get Masai on too. But yeah, here it is on ESPN. Rumors Minnesota and Timberwolves targeting either Devin Booker or Ben Simmons or Bradley Beal. Like they're all three of those guys are mentioned in the article who we went over. Yeah. It'd be interesting if the Warriors were to trade for a guy like JJ Redick. I know the Wolves really were targeting JJ Redick last free agency.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Make sure to subscribe on all platforms. And we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.